Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. This video is for anyone that is of the Black or African American ethnicity, likely between the ages of 20 to about 40, 45, most likely male, who voted for Trump or who supported Trump but didn't vote for him but supported him, or didn't vote at all, although you could have, for whatever reason. That's a whole nother video. This video is for you. This video is also for those of you who are trying to convince people that I just described to stop their support of Trump. So this video hopefully will make some sense to you. All right, because you all are making some really seriously foolish decisions by supporting a man who is deeply, deeply racist and white supremacist. Hey, family, do you believe in the work we're doing? Does our content speak to you? Do you appreciate our in-depth legal analysis and political commentary from an African-American perspective? Do you believe it matters to our community? Then don't just watch from the sidelines. Please click that membership button and become a member of the 2% Club today. That's right, we need just 2% of our subscribers to become channel members. For just $4.99 a month, that's less than 20 cents a day, you'll help us keep creating powerful content that defends our democracy, demands justice, and develops a strong African-American community. But if you want more, at $9.99 a month, which is only 33 cents a day, you'll get access to exclusive members-only live streams, bonus content, and behind-the-scenes updates. And for just $14.99 a month, which is under 50 cents a day, our top-tier members get access to live Zone calls, strategy sessions, and a direct voice in shaping this movement. We're not just building a YouTube channel. Folks, we're building a movement based on righteousness and justice, just what our community needs in a time of disinformation and division. So if you believe in what we're doing, click the membership button and join now. Become a member of the 2% Club today. Let's build something powerful together. Now, you may not understand what the word racist means. You may not understand what white supremacy means. And I know you're listening to people who tell you, well, the Democrats are just as racist as the GOP. I get it. You're being told a lot of things that are designed to convince you to help Trump win elections. And it should be just apparent on its face that he is not someone that African-American people should be supporting. Look at all the anti-Black stuff that he's done this first 6 months of this second term. And you may not remember or even know about or understand the anti-Black stuff he did in his first term. That's why you should be a regular viewer of this channel, because I've covered all that. Go back and look at some of my earlier videos. I've covered how deeply white supremacist and racist Trump is, and his administration and MAGA and the GOP, etc. And I acknowledge that the Democratic Party does not have a great record, especially especially hundreds of years ago. I acknowledge that. In fact, I'm about to produce a video where I'm going to walk through that history, take an honest look at that history so that you can see who is and who is not a friend of the African American community. But right now, I want to focus on Trump. So you see the lower third here says Trump will reinstall Confederate statute. Anyone who reinstalls a Confederate statute is not a friend of the African American community, because this is in honor of people who fought to keep us enslaved. And by the way, those people at that time were Democrats. That's why I'm going to do this video that's coming up to walk you through what has happened in American history and why you must understand the nuances of American history. I'm going to show you this. But yes, this Confederate person that Trump wants reinstalled was a Democrat. No question. But stick with me. Stick with me. The Democrats today are not those Democrats. And the Republicans today are not the Republicans from the past. But right now we're talking about Trump. And he wants to reinstall a Confederate statute that is horrible. Now, let's go and read this article by the New York Times. Listen, to be engaged in this fight in an intelligent way, folks, you got to read. You must read and research. You can't take, or you shouldn't take, people's words, content creators' words on YouTube or TikTok or social media, not even mine. And I'll never lie to you. I'll never lie to you. But don't even take mine. And that is the reason why in my videos, I bring receipts, I bring evidence, I bring proof. So this is not me saying this. The writer of this article is not Augustus Corbett. It is Chris Cameron, somebody I know nothing about. He is a journalist for the New York Times. All right. And his article is entitled, Trump Administration Will Reinstall Confederate Statue in Washington. Now, keep in mind, the Confederates fought to keep us enslaved. Why should we be honoring them? Why should their statue be on any taxpaying Washington, D.C. area grounds? That's an affront to us. That's disrespectful to us as African Americans. Let's read some of the article. The Trump administration will restore and reinstall the only statute that had honored a Confederate official in the U.S. Capitol after demonstrators toppled and set it on fire during the Black Lives Matter protests in 2020. Trump was extremely hostile to the Black Lives Matter protesters. Extremely. And keep in mind, the Black Lives Matter protesters protested because of the George Floyd lynching. And essentially, they were saying that George Floyd's life mattered and the lives of other black men matters. So they were protesting for you, young black man, or whoever's listening, if you're African American. And for that reason, Trump was extremely hostile and showed a lot of animosity toward this movement. So he is undoing what they did, what they accomplished by having this statute removed. It should have been removed. But his heart is so filled with white supremacy, he wants it back. And he's using the votes of over 2 million black people to put it back. And some of you listening to me, you voted for him. This is what you voted for. The Trump administration will restore and reinstall the only statute that had honored a Confederate official in the U.S. Capitol after demonstrators toppled and set it on fire during the Black Lives Matter protests in 2020. The defaced statute depicts Albert Pike, a Confederate diplomat and general who worked closely with Native Americans from slave-owning tribes that sided with the Confederacy during the Civil War and fought to protect slavery as an institution. Now, this is really important because many of you, how many times have we heard black people say, I got Native American blood. My grandmama was Native. Listen, did you not know that Native Americans enslaved blacks too? Many Native American tribes enslaved black people just like whites. As a matter of fact, Native Americans continued slavery even after the 13th Amendment that abolished slavery in America because they were sovereign nations and they continued to enslave blacks until they stopped it at the push of progressive radical Republicans during Reconstruction. So he worked with those slave-holding Indian tribes to protect slavery. He was also a prominent leader of the Freemasons, a secretive fraternal society that included many powerful politicians and elite figures in the 18th and 19th centuries who were also supportive of enslavement. The bronze, 11-foot-tall statue of Mr. Pike, which had been in storage since it was toppled from his perch near the Capitol grounds 5 years ago, was approved by Congress in 1898 and built by an order of Freemasons. The monument's inscriptions do not directly mention Mr. Pike's ties to the Confederacy, and the statute itself depicts him as a leader to the Freemasons. Inscriptions on the monument laud Pike as a poet, a scholar, a soldier, an orator, a jurist, and a philanthropist, and a Confederate. The announcement by the National Park Service on Monday was the latest component of President Trump's sweeping effort to restore Confederate symbols in the military and in public spaces. Earlier this year, Mr. Trump directed the military to restore the names of all Army bases that had been named for Confederate generals and signed an executive order calling for the restoration of public monuments that were removed during the racial justice protests that followed the murder of George Floyd by the Minneapolis police officer in 2020. Now, I just want to ask you, why would you support a man who supports the Confederacy? That is just like young Jewish men supporting Hitler or the Third Reich. You won't find it. You won't find, I don't believe, not one young Jewish man, not one, I don't believe, who would support a man who wanted Hitler's and Hitler's henchmen restored throughout Germany. I don't believe you'd find that. Why then are African Americans, some, a minority, but a minority that is helping the GOP gain power and do these racist things? Why would you support this? Why would you listen to anyone who tells you to support this? Yeah, well, Mr. Corbett, what you don't understand is we playing the long game here. We're trying to make the Democrats lose elections until they agree to give us reparations. Do you know how foolish that sounds? The Democrats have been fighting for reparations. The GOP has been fighting against reparations. Not only that, I want that to sink in. Not only that, the Democrats don't run the government by themselves. In order to get reparations, that has to be an act of Congress. And that requires a majority vote. So in order for the Democrats to give blacks reparations, the Democrats would have to have at least 60 Congress, 60 senators, and an overwhelming majority in the House. How are they going to get that if you don't vote for them? Explain to me how the Democrats are going to get in a position to do anything about reparations if they're not in power because we have not voted for them. Because again, they can't do it by themselves. I explained in a previous video that the Democrats, because some will say, well, they've had 60 senators before and enough in the House to do reparations, and they didn't do it. Go back and watch some of my videos on that because it's not true. The Obama administration had 60 senators for a very short period of time when he first got elected. And it took more time than the 2 or few months that he had 60 senators to get something like reparations done. Just go back and look at it, people. I'm not lying to you. Just go back and do a little research. Chat it. Google it. But don't take these people's word for it. Fact check. Do your research. Because they're leading you to do some really anti-black stuff that is helping this anti-black regime put forth a lot of anti-black policies. And it is not true that this current Democratic Party has done that anti-blackness. I just dealt with the 1994 crime bill in a video that I put up today about Trump coming for black men. Go and listen to what I had to say about that. But there is no comparison between this Republican Party and this Democratic Party. They're not on the same level of one being anti-black and the other one isn't. There's so many black people in the Democratic Party that are like guardrails against even if there are white supremacists in the Democratic Party that wanted to get white supremacists. Most of them need black votes, so they can't get, and then their colleagues in Congress will not allow them to go where Trump is gone. Moreover, a whole lot of Democrats are progressives, whereas a whole lot of the GOP is filled with conservatives and white supremacists. So they support all this stuff that Trump is doing. Young black men, you're being misled. You're being misinformed. I'm concerned at this point, even if the Democrats were to gain 60 senators and a big majority in the House, the way this is going, we would not be able to get we would not be able to get reparations because those who have voted for Trump have given him so much power in that first term and now in this term that they could overcome even 60 senators and a big majority in the House. How? Let me tell you how. Let me tell you how they could do it. Here's how they could do it. Well, let's say Democrats had 60 senators and a big House majority. And let's say they pushed through a reparations bill that, they were able to get enacted. President signed it, and so there it is. Now, what's going to happen next? Well, they're going to file lawsuits. White supremacists are going to file lawsuits. Many of those white supremacist politicians are going to file lawsuits. And now here's the problem. Trump has been able to put a whole lot of right-wing Confederate type of judges on the federal bench. And most importantly, he put three on the Supreme Court. And so now they have a solid 6 majority, and they would strike down every reparations law that was passed, every one of them. So essentially, by voting for Trump, black people, you have allowed him to rig the system against everything black, including reparations. They would never, those 3 and the other 3, who are they? John Roberts, Sam Alito, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, those 6 would block any reparations law. And why are they there and able to do that? Because a whole lot of black people either voted for Trump or did not vote in 2016. Therefore, he won, and he put these right-wing folks on benches from the Supreme Court down. And then, inexplicably, an increasing number of black people voted for him again in 2024 so he can further rig the system against us. This is truly sad. This is truly sad. This is a sad and dark time that we're living in as African American people. So, yes, he's in a position to do about any anti-black racist thing that he wants to do. Now, he's going to string these blacks who tend to vote for him, he's going to string them along. They're going to make excuses for this. They're going to say things like, oh, well, the Pike man was a Democrat, and the Democrats did the same thing, and the Democrats are the ones who had blacks in. They're going to excuse all that he does. You follow me? They're going to excuse every single bit of it. But you can't fall for it. You can't fall for it. You got to use your intelligence, your common sense to think for yourself. I mean, really, seriously. And another thing he's bound to do, I know he's going to do it. He's going to release a check. And he's going to pardon high-profile black people. That's what black folks are going to get. Those are the tangibles that he's going to give black people to keep certain black people supporting him. To keep certain black people supporting him. A check and a couple pardons so that he can continue his anti-blackness. We cannot be that foolish. We can't be that foolish. We can't be that foolish. Please open your eyes. I am saying what I'm saying with the emotions that I'm saying it. Not as a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. I haven't been a Democrat for 40 years. 40. 4 decades. But I know that right now, the Democratic Party is the best chance we got to fight back against white supremacy. I'm saying what I'm saying to you with the emotions that I'm saying it on behalf of our people, black people. You may not know very many, you may not know very few, you may not know a bunch of black so-called leaders who seem to really care about black people. They're out there. They are out there, and I am one of them. To what degree I am able to influence and use my platform, to whatever degree I am looked upon as a leader on some level, I want you to know I love our people. I love our people. I have a deep, deep, sincere love for us. Whether you want to call us black Americans, African Americans, I don't care about that as deeply. I am an African American. I'm a Pan-Africanist. But I don't care what we call ourselves. I just want you to know, whether you're black American, African American, Negro, whatever, I love you. And I want the best for us. And Donald Trump is not the best for black people. He's not the best. All right, I'm Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. Thank you for watching this video. And as always, stay woke.